Played a good game. We're still working on finishing. That's the number one thing with us right now. We're still working on finishing, but guys are coming out. We came out in the second half, got a turnover, so we ended up winning the middle eight. Offensively, we're still working with the run game, getting it there, but I think that we're able to hit runs in certain situations that we need them. Ethan's doing a good job just spreading the ball around, so I'm excited about that. O-line played a really well game. They did a good job. That was a good defense that we played against too, so just the fact that they were able to execute and make plays like they did, it was exciting. So looking forward to this week. Another blue-collar team similar to Nebraska, so we're excited about that. This is a real culture that we're playing against because he's been there for a long time, so he's the way that he wants them to play is embedded into his players, and you can see that. So this is a good challenge for us at home, and then we want to show that we can play well at home. So we're fired up for this opportunity. We do well on the road, so I'm trying to figure out how we can do the same thing at the Rose Bowl. So guys are excited for the challenge. It's a good team we're playing against, but it's also homecoming, and it's another opportunity for us to show that we can win in the Rose Bowl. So I need all the fans to show up, get out here, support us. I want to hear the students out there, student section, go crazy. A lot of alumni will be there because it's homecoming also. So, we're just fired up for this opportunity to keep playing ball and do it at the Rose Bowl.
How much input did you have in the Throwbacks uniforms?
A lot. We wore these last year too, so and the kids they like those uniforms and they get to wear some cool shoes, so they're pretty fired up about it.
You like the uniforms?
Yeah, I love them. It's those are historic UCLA uniforms. Just the fact that Gary Beeben wore those, and he won the Heisman, so those are iconic uniforms.
Two things about the last game I want to ask. Quasi Gilmore continues to emerge. What has allowed him as a freshman to make so many big plays?
Being able to come in early, so he was here in spring, and he's just a kid that it started on special teams. He's an effort guy. Like, he's out there running fast and just trying to do more to help the team. And it started with getting out on special teams, and then a couple of injuries has happened, and then he's just taking advantage of the situation of getting more reps. And he was making plays at LSU, and he continues to do that this past weekend, and that's why he was freshman of the week. So we're excited for him.
What about his physical traits or ability? How does he catch the ball? I mean, what does he do physically and the way he runs routes and stuff like that?
It's just that it's the effort that he does stuff in. So he's always running at full speed. He's always straining to when he's running his routes. So it's just it's kind of just his makeup. It's not really the ability, is just his makeup, and he just goes hard. So, when you have guys like that, he's a guy you have to pull back. Like, okay, Quasi, turn it down a little bit, so he's a guy that you have to pull back, and that's just good when you're a freshman and able to come in and play the way that he's playing. Just the sky's the limit for this guy.
And then one more thing about the game. When you went back and watched the 3 unsportsmanlike and talked to those players individually, what were your kind of takeaways from what happened on those plays?
So Femi's, celebrate with your teammates. We do the 4th down signal, so they had their hands up signaling 4th down. He did his to the sideline. The refs didn't like it. Ale, he pushed somebody that pushed one of his teammates, so that's a penalty. You're always going to get caught. The second guy's going to get caught. And then Kafusi was picking up a guy off of one of his teammates, and they were trying to, it was already chippy, so I understood they were just trying to keep guys from pulling each other off the ball, But it's still learning. You got to learn from that, and it's still discipline. So, we're going to find a way to continue to get better, and I think that they understood what was going on. A lot of that stuff really wasn't malicious like I thought it was during the game. So I was just proud that, there was some stuff that we can correct, and I think that it should get corrected pretty soon.
Is it as simple as, as soon as the play is blown dead, is it as simple as just running back to your huddle, running back to your sideline, that sort of thing to correct it?
A couple situations, yeah, most definitely. You just don't get the refs involved, in certain situations. It was a 3rd down, especially because after all of those situations, it was a touchdown.
Yep.
So we put them back in the game, I don't think Ale will do that again. I don't think Femi will do that again, and I don't think Vinny will do that again. So it's just more of just learning. It just hopefully we could have learned from previous games, but I think that we have reiterated that to them, and I think they understand pretty much.
You got a new, different challenge with Iowa that you really haven't faced. A running back who is unquestionably the guy in the offense, right? What makes him so good, and how do you go about shutting him down a little bit?
I mean, Rutgers was pretty close to that, pretty close. He was what makes that offense go, but this kid's special. You can see that, and, he's a guy that the more carries he gets, the more he gets going, so you just got to find a way to get him down, and it's more of swarming to the ball and not just one guy doing it. Anytime I was playing running back and I knew I was playing a good defense, it was when I made a move and then there's another defender right there. That's when you're playing against a good defense, because that means that guys are running to the ball. So that's something that we do really well. And, I think they're excited for this challenge because, when you're playing against a potential Heisman Trophy candidate, you want to be at your best, and I think that this can help a lot of guys make it to the next level if they can be successful against a back like this. But that O-line is special too. So, they have, they're humongous, so they're big guys. But, they move the line of scrimmage, and I'm just excited for this challenge. I know Jay's fired up for it. Carson's pretty fired up for it. I think the whole defense is ready for this challenge, and it kind of plays what they do, kind of plays into what we do well. So, we're just going to see, what comes out on top.
You backed Ethan consistently through a 1-5 start, even when the stats weren't great. How important was it to have that stability at that position and have the faith in him that you had all the way through?
I mean, I just knew Ethan. I knew his ability, and he's talented. You guys are seeing that. He's a talented quarterback. He makes plays, and he's sneaky athletic, and he can run the ball. He makes moves downfield. He's finding guys open. He's extending drives. He's extending plays. So it's just, it was more of just, I always like when my coaches supported me no matter what happened, and there was a couple unfortunate things that was going on for him, and it all wasn't Ethan. So, this is a true team sport. It's the ultimate team sport. So you can't do this stuff on your own. And when I was a running back, I always knew my O-line was how I was successful. And, we were still trying to get the O-line exactly where we wanted them to be. And, sometimes he might have had a hand in his face or somebody, and we might have had a couple unlucky throws. But, I think he settled down and is, staying upright and making plays. So it was just mostly just doing what I've been doing for guys around here, just supporting them when they're in certain situations. But he's a good quarterback. He's a top 10 player in this league, and I just think that he's finally being able to just let everybody know how good he can be.
Ethan mentioned after the game that you're big on sacrifice. So what are some conversations you might have had with him about sacrifice?
It's just, you just have to sacrifice in everything, Anytime you want to be successful in life, you have to sacrifice something, I'm pretty sure all of you guys have sacrificed something to make it to where you're at now, you know what I mean? So it's just the same thing, but the more you sacrifice, the more you'll get back in football. And it was just like last week. I'm sure some guys were upset we left on Thursday, and that was Halloween. So I'm pretty sure some guys were upset, but they sacrificed and understood what could come out of that, and it was a victory. So, it was just little things like that. That was my daughter's first Halloween, and I was in Nebraska. So sacrifice. Coach Akaika's family came down, 2 weeks ago, and he was in the office majority of the time that his son was in town from Hawaii. But it's something that we have to sacrifice if we want to get to where we want to be. So it's just continuously just trying to build men and just teach them life, really, that translates to football.
Did you have any messages for the team about voting or just anything around this day?
Most definitely. We wanted to let them know that how important it was to vote. We told them where they could vote on campus, Ackerman on the second floor, and then Deneb. And what's funny is that majority of the guys had already voted, because I asked who's already voted, and half the hands went up. So it was pretty excited that these guys are actually taking the opportunity to make change.
And going back to the offensive line for a second, you've obviously noted the improvement, but it seemed like the running backs really also did a great job in that Nebraska game. I think TJ knocked a couple of pass rushers off their path. How much have they improved in helping the offensive line?
It's just all communication. You know, running backs are just an extension of the O-line in the pass game, and they're just doing a good job of getting in there and diagnosing and seeing who they have and getting to him. You know, what's funny is that I actually told TJ what EB did too. Like, you kind of saw him a little late. That's why you were flying over there like that. But you know, when you get in position and can block and you know exactly who you're getting, stuff like that happens. But you know, our O-line is doing a good job, and I'm just as fired up that, you know, hopefully we can just continue to do that this week.
Do you believe in the concept of carrying momentum from one game to another?
To a point, you know. I think that winning is contagious. You know, once you get a victory, it can start going. Guys understand what it takes to win. So that's back to earning a victory. You know, we've had 2 really good practices this week, coming off a short week, you know. That we had to practice Sunday due to the fact that we're playing Friday, and no complaints, but guys understood the big picture. And that was another sacrifice, you know, having to come in on one of their off days, but practicing. So it's just something like, so to answer your question, yes, I do think that some momentum can be carried over, but it's more of the winning aspect that is contagious, and once you get a taste of it, you know what it takes to get it.
Cory Miller was out there in shoulder pads and a helmet. Why was he doing that?
Cory's birthday was Sunday? Was it Sunday or yesterday?
Cory's birthday was yesterday.
Yeah, Cory's birthday was yesterday, and the guys were trying to throw him in the cold tub, so I think that he took it upon himself to put the pads on and let him know that you're not doing anything to me today. But it was just fired up. It was cool. You know, he has a really good relationship with these guys, and that's why I brought him back, because he was somebody that a lot of the players were asking to get back in here, and you know, somebody that really likes what he's doing and can do stuff like that just to motivate the guys. It's awesome. Because I'm not putting the pads on. I'm done.
Just in general, are you a fan of short weeks? I mean, what were they like for you as a player? I mean, is it any different?
I feel like we only played on Saturday when I was playing in college.
So
now in the NFL,
yeah.
not really, because you want your full, you know. The NFL game is brutal, so you want your rest. You want to get your recovery, but it's okay. You know, I'm fired up. We got 2 Friday games back to back,
right.
So I do get my day back.
Some consistency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I am cool with that, but it's not ideal, but it's the same situation for them too.
Yeah.
So you know, it'd be different if they were coming off a bye. I'd be pissed, you know, but they're not. But so it's okay.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.